Hey traders, John Howell here, and in today's market update plus also educational video, we're going to be covering the S&P and the Nasdaq, but a bit more of a longer term. Short term, I see a bit of a short term pullback. What's happening there long term? Also going to be talking about silver and gold and breakout targets. So if they do break out where they are right now, where is the target of where it's likely to run to? I'm going to be talking about lift stock as well too. What's going on right now with the lift stock? Also going to be talking about Barrick Gold. I had someone on my YouTube channel ask for that. And also Boeing. Also Bitcoin, XRP be covering, and also some trades that my client has, or one of my private clients did just for January this year. And I was so impressed by his results and what he did and all that sort of stuff as well too. So I'm really impressed by what he did there. So anyway, traders, let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, let's get straight into it. Just a reminder traders that as you know that my coaching program is closed, but my birthday is coming up on the 20th of February. So I'm giving one person a 70% off discount to my coaching program. It's only one person on the 20th of February this month, which is Australia time. So I think it's the 19th for Americans, 20th Sydney time or Sydney date. I will be releasing a video that day, a market update video, and which is 2 days from now. And in that video, I'll be telling you what email you need to email, and the first person to email me will indeed be getting that one spot only for my coaching program. So if you want my coaching and you want a 70% off, and one it's closed, but secondly, if you want in on that, this is the only time you can get access to that. So be ready for that video and instructions on that on the 20th, which is 2 days from now. Now let's move on now to the S&P and Nasdaq long-term targets. When I started looking at these markets long term, I started to recognize that there was a very there was a pattern that was forming here overall. And if I look at this here, right, if I squeeze this up, let me see if I can squeeze this up even more. Let's go to a 6 day. All right, 6 day. Let's go to a 7 day. I'm just trying to get. Right, I'm trying to get this here. All right, so one thing I definitely do see is that we've definitely seen. Look at this here. So we go for a run for a while, then we go through a period of sideways movement, then we go for another run. This one here lasted 1, 2, 3, probably 3 years in total. Before we went through what, another sideways period. We had what, 2 years of sideways period. And then when we broke out, guess what? We went for pretty much what that was a pretty much close to 2, or very close to 2 years worth of a bull run before we eventually started this overall sideways movement. All right, actually that's probably about 12 months from that there. Probably about a 12-month bull run, and then the market broke out. Now we're going sideways again, and now we've been breaking out ever since late last year. So as we can see, right, the longer term trend here, the market's been doing the same thing. Okay, we have 1 run, 2 run, 3 and then run. So this is the longer term targets on the S&P 500, and the same for the Nasdaq as well too. As you can see here on the Nasdaq has just been doing the same sort of thing as well too. So you can see how it goes for a run for a while. We have a bit of a sideways period, run up, bit of a sideways period again, and then we go for a big run. Lots of sideways, big run, lots of sideways, big run, right? So it's just really going in its rhythm there. So right now, guys, as I'm speaking right now, you can see this, you can see the Nasdaq is, if I do the angle here on the Nasdaq from there to there, this is the angle of this move on this chart is so explosive right now, so big right now. So, but I cannot see a pullback not happening. All right, so when we go back, let me go back to the weekly chart now. So when we say a pullback is likely to happen, look how vertical this move is likely to be. So this is probably likely to see some sort of a sharp pullback. I'm seeing short term, guys, a sharp pullback, or should I say you know, a 5 or 6 or 7% pullback on a short-term basis of where we are right now. And then it's probably going to pick back up and just keep going up from there, especially if they drop rates again, right? So that's what I'm seeing there longer term, guys. I definitely just see the market's likely to drop here, but as long as they keep rates where they are right now, or they drop the rates, then that's going to probably put a lot more fire in these markets as well too. So a good 5 or 6% correction will not be the top in the market. It'll be a really good buying opportunity for these markets long term. And then from that process, we're probably likely to rally up. So for you guys that are investing, we're probably likely to rally up. And then at the top, when we're pretty far away from the top in the markets, okay? There's not, I don't know, maybe a year or 2 or 3 years, maybe more, I don't know. But watch the Fed, when they start to raise interest rates again, because maybe inflation, maybe they have to start to cool things down. That's when we're getting when they raise the interest rates the first time, that's the warning sign. And then the second time, we're getting pretty close to the top then. And that's when we're probably likely to start to see. But from now, it's game on bull market. And bull markets have big moves up. And then once again, 5 or 6% pullback right now. Please bring that on, right? Because I'm going to be buying the crap out of either the QQQ or the SPY and just riding on like Donkey Kong, right? Bring it on. So, and that's probably going to be really, so if this starts to freak people out, that's probably going to be really good for silver and gold because, well, that's sort of what I'm hoping for anyway with my investing positions. Trading positions, different story, but my investing positions, if that does happen and silver and gold take off, then I'll be exiting my shorter term silver position, which is like a 6-month position. And then probably filtering that back into the stock market, which is really interesting. I'll be selling some silver options to buy potentially back into the S&P, which, as you can see, right, if everything works out well for me when it comes to that, S&P and 500 have a say a 6 to 7% pullback. If that happens, hopefully the silver and gold is going to take a nice move up. Once that happens, I'll be selling the silver and gold right now. I've got 2 positions on silver, right? So one, I actually have a 2-year position on, so I've still got that on, and I have a shorter term position, 6 months. I'll be selling the 6 months and probably then filtering that back into buying the S&P and then probably riding that back up. So that's in the perfect world. That probably might not happen, but anyway. So that's what I'm seeing through there. Now moving on through to silver and gold right now. So silver and gold, I want to talk about here a short-term breakout target. So right now on gold, we're in this triangle pattern here. Very nice triangle pattern where we are right now. And if we break up out of this triangle pattern, then I see this triangle pattern break. If we do break up and out, which is probably likely to happen, right? We're getting very close to that breakout, I believe. We're probably likely to run to the 1,600, even probably up to the $1,700 target there. So that's where I see gold running once we start to break here. And we're probably getting very close to that breakout right now. As you can see, big move up, sideways. So get ready for some sort of breakout. That's why I called it the breakout targets, because that's where I see gold going to. And then also the silver price here, breakout targets, if we continue to break up and out, which looks like we've actually just started to break up and above this trend line, which that's the first bullish sign. If we continue up, we're probably likely to firstly run to the top of the channel, which is around that 1850 level. That's somewhere around about that 1850 level. It's probably going to pause there for a little bit, have a little bit of a backing pattern, and then once it breaks, when we break, then we're probably likely to head back up on a short-term basis anyway, guys, up to around about, say, that $20 level would be a target for me. And you can see how it's pretty much $1.50, right? So you can see here, 16.50. Oh, look at this here. So so it's 16.50 to 17.50. That's the next support level. 17.50 to 18.50. You can see that there. So then 18.50, the market's likely to run to 19.50. See how it's like pretty much dollar increments of where the support levels are. There's not exact science, but that's where I see the market rallying up, and you can see how that pretty much gets to 19.50. It's probably likely to rally up towards that $20 level there. So Really exciting stuff for silver and gold is what I'm seeing through there. Alrighty, so what I want to do right now is I want to have a lift. All right, I want to have a look at lift stock because there's been a lot of talk about lift stock and what's been going on with lift and so on and so forth. The first thing is that we've pretty much been doing nothing since November right now, right? This really nice move up from here, but pretty much a very ugly stock. Really not much going on through here, as you can see, right? Very nice move up. If we go and have a look at the weekly chart, we can clearly see that this is a very big downward trend, and I definitely wouldn't want to be touching this downward trend at all. And so you can see how we've made this high. It just thumped, rallied up, made a lower high, thumped, rallied up, and we've got this sort of trend line where we are right now. So we're in this sort of level where we are right now. If we go back to our daily chart and squeeze up, it does look like it's probably likely to continue and getting thumped. I'm pretty sure lift doesn't really make any money. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about lift. But lift right now, high, lower high, rally back up. If we start to break, this is probably going to head down and probably continue down to zero. So on a trading perspective, there's actually nothing for me to trade. How's the options on this? Oh, there's actually a lot of options. So it does look like lift is actually pretty good with the options as well too. So I will be keeping an eye on that to see if a trading opportunity does come. I'd love the short lift right now, or I'd love the short lift, but I still need my setup to come into play. So yeah, so that's what I'm seeing through there, and you could see that this market rallying up, right? This big move up. You could see how the volume really started to come back in and then thump that back down. So there's a lot of weakness in this market, so I'm expecting a lot more downside to come out of lift. Now I want to move into gold, all right, or Barrick Gold. I want to talk about Barrick Gold here for this section through here. And I'm looking at Barrick Gold because I had someone say that on my YouTube channel recently, have a look at Barrick Gold. And firstly, when I'm looking at Barrick Gold, we've done pretty much nothing going on here for quite some time. Sideways movement up. We had a very nice sort of triangle pattern coming on through here somewhere, squeezing up into here, and then we get this breakout bar through here right now, as you can see, right? So by looking at this here, and by looking at the breakout bar, firstly we can see there's actually a bit of a short-term resistance up through here. But if we go and have a look at that weekly chart through here right now, this is it's definitely looking very bullish, right? You can see how we had a very nice strong trending downward movement for quite some time, and then we started to break up and out, and that's where we are right now. That's where we're heading into it right now. We can see that there's pretty much nothing going on through here right now. A bit of a slight move down, slight move up. So if we start to break back above here, we could see a nice move up in there, but you know, overall this actually looks really like possibly like a big massive sort of inverted head and shoulder pattern. We've got shoulder here, head here, shoulder here. If we break this neckline, then the projection for that, which is really easy to use, you use the head, right? The head, and you use that up to the neckline. So let me just delete all the trend lines. The neckline is pretty much up the top here. So that'll be the neckline around that, what's that number there? Around that $22 level, around about there somewhere. So what you do is you measure from the head up to the neckline, somewhere around about there, and then you project that up and out like that, and then the market comes down like that. And so a target for me would be around that $40 level, which goes inside of around that level through there. So probably a bit lower on a conservative basis through there. Let's go to, so probably around just a bit lower than that, I would say then. Probably around that $35 level there. Let me see where that goes. Yeah, so probably around that $35 level, I see that sort of long term anyway. So once we break this overall sort of on Barrick Gold 22, once we start to break back above this level through here, then we're probably really like to start to see a move up, and we're probably likely to get towards that because there's nothing here, right? I was going to say we probably get to the 34, 36, and the reason why is there's nothing here. As you can see, absolutely nothing through here at all. No support, no resistance. So once we start to break above that level through there, guys, we're probably likely to start to see a very, very nice move up on that. If we look at the options here, let's see if there's any sort of longer term plays with options here. We can go to the Jan 21 or Jan 22. We can see how the 35s, where did they say that it's likely to run to? Let me go back to here. So around that $35 level there would be where I'd see this thing rallying to very, very, very nicely. And so the $35 options there, you can see that that's through there, or at the money price right now, or just first out of the money, is around about that $3 there. So around $300 a contract for long term. So actually not a bad long term play for an investing position. Not right now, guys. For me anyway. I still haven't seen anything that's good to go for. I wouldn't be getting into this right now. For me personally anyway, I haven't. There's just nothing there for me long term for to get into this. I would prefer to be where I am right now, which is basically long silver and gold, flat stock market. I'm in and out of my trading positions, waiting for a real big dip in the actual stock market and then actually buying it up from there. But Barrick Gold, guys, that's what I'm seeing through there. Now, moving on to Boeing. Now, Boeing is actually quite interesting because if you have a look at Boeing, I did a bit of an update Boeing on a while ago, but Boeing right now, Boeing, you can see what was happening here through Boeing, right? We had a high, then we broke down, came down, found support, hit resistance, came down, hit support, then we made a lower high. So we had a high, a lower high, a lower high, then a false breakout to the downside. It was a false breakout because when a market is trending down like that and we have a major level of support or a support level and we break down and we do nothing and then we break back up above that level, guess what it is? This is an end of trend indicator or a false breakout indicator. Then we rallied up to make a high and a higher high. So sometimes the market will come down, make a lower high, lower high, lower high, and then a rally back up, make a higher high, and then possibly come back down to make a higher low. See how this whole thing is a trend change. It's like a bit of a head and shoulder formation, right? Shoulder, head, bit of a trend change through there. So I definitely do see, even if we do get a bit of a pullback here in Boeing, which we're probably likely to start to see a bit more of a pullback right now. If we do pull back, and I'm hoping it pulls back on very, very low volume, and then we get a nice big breakout bar with increase in volume, then that would tell me we're now getting ready to move up to 375. Overall, guys, even if that doesn't happen, I still see an overall move to the 375 level overall. And then once that happens, if we do break this overall 375 level, then I see a move. Up towards the 440 level through there. If I look at my weekly chart, you can see that that's what I've got going on through there. We break this here, and as you can see, right, you can see how it's like 2, 4, 6. So pretty much, it's a $60 sort of increments between major support levels at 320, major resistance is at 380. Project that up, which is 246. Project that up, which is 246, and you get 440. So we break above 380, we're pretty much free and clear to run towards that 440. Probably not straight away. It probably won't happen like all in one go. Maybe, just maybe, we might get a Tesla move, right? But as I'm doing this recording right now, we can see that's what's happening there with Boeing. Alrighty, traders. So let's have a look at Bitcoin right now. Let's have a look at Bitcoin, and I'll share with you what I'm seeing right now. That's going on right now with Bitcoin. On a larger perspective on what's happened here right now when it comes to when it comes to Bitcoin, we can see how we had this strong move up, a very, 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 very weak pullback through here. It actually had some sort of an end of trend indicator. There's a bit of a false breakout. If I go back to my daily chart, I'll share with you what I mean by a false breakout. And we can see how that we had this level of support. The level of support came down through there. We had this whole level where it broke down, pretty much nothing going on. And then we broke up and out. This here was the trend reversal. and then we see a strong move back to the upside. So as we can see, that's what's going on there right now when it comes to the Bitcoin on a short-term basis. That's why I say it was an end of trend indicator, because it's probably like this is what the market does. They break back below support, get people short, and then they start to really rally it up and rally it strongly through there. So that's on what's happening right now. We're getting a bit of a short-term pullback right now. So by looking at this here, we can see how that overall we had a couple of different levels here. First, we had this main level through here. So this level up through here, which is around that sort of pretty much around that $10,000 level, which is a pretty strong level where it is right now. And then we have this major level of support around that sort of 8,000 to 7,000 through there. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we actually did see a bit of a backing pattern through here with Bitcoin, or even a bit of a sideways movement. That would be the best scenario for me anyway, personally. If we got a sideways movement and then we started the breakout, I'd be all over that, like a fat kid loves cake. But by looking at Bitcoin right now, we can see how we had a lot of sideways. We've had not a loss. If we have a lot of sideways movement, that's probably likely to break up. Or even if we did get a bit of a backing pattern, and then if we do hold and break up, this is going to be a low, a high, a higher breaking pass here. That's when we're probably likely to see a nice move up with Bitcoin when it comes to that weekly chart. We can see how we had a very nice move up and then a weak move down. And if we're using like a one-to-one sort of a projection tool, meaning from the low of the move to the absolute high of the move, from there to there, if I grab that exact same level and if I bring that to the upside from the absolute low to the high point, I can see how that's the $17,000 level is where it's likely to. We can see how we had this sort of strong level of resistance coming down through there, as you can see, like a bit of a flag formation, if you're going to call it that. All right, so a flag formation, very strong move up, we're now broken out. Even if we do get a bit of a backing pattern through here, I definitely see it picking up. And we're probably likely to run back up to 12, hold around that 12 to 13 mark, probably hold there for a bit, and then a rally back up to $17 would be a target for me overall on that weekly chart. Now, daily chart, guys, as I said before, daily chart, we can get a lot of swings, a lot of moves. And in the cryptocurrency level, there's going to be a lot of really good opportunities in the cryptocurrencies, like on a short-term basis, long-term basis, and so on and so forth. So if we look at, say, the charts on the 15-minute charts and so on and so forth, there can be some really good trading opportunities. If I go and have a look at, like, let me go back to here. All right, I'm just scrolling back to see that. Look at that there. Look at all that sideways, not much going on. Breakdown bar, and look what happened, right? Thing just got absolutely just slammed. So anyway, so that's what I'm seeing through there through Bitcoin, guys. Let me now go and have a look at the XRP. All right, XRP chart. So the first thing I do see on the XRP chart, let me go to the 1 week chart. The first thing I do see on XRP is, this is XRP. Let me go to XRP USD. Here we go. Cool. All right. So when we're looking at the XRP, we can see how the market had a low, came down, had a rally up, made a lower high. We rallied down. Right. We created some sort of support level through here. We came back up. And look at this here. Look at this sort of end of trend false breakout. Now we've rallied back up. We've made some sort of higher high up here. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see sideways movement or a pullback, and then a strong rally up and out from here. This higher high is giving me a good indication that we're probably likely to stall there. If we go and have a look at the daily chart, you can see that if I bring up my overall support and resistance line, say through there, you can see how that was definitely a a strong level of resistance, came down. Then once it broke, we rallied up. We rallied to the next level of resistance. Have a bit of a backing pattern now, a bit of a backing pattern, so it means a bit of a pullback. And now with XRP, we can see that that's what's happening right now. But even if we did get a bit of a pullback overall, long term, guys, I definitely see this thing's probably, even with a bit of a pullback, it's probably going to be a really good buying opportunity. So I might be buying some myself. I think long term XRP has a lot of good stuff going for it. If I also look at let me bring up the trend line itself. If I bring up my trend lines itself, you can see how we've definitely broken out of this longer term trend line through there. So I'll go back to my daily chart right now. You can see how we're definitely broken out of that long term, and now we're actually having a bit of a pullback right now where we are. So that's actually looking really, really interesting to see what's going on there, guys. So XRP right now does look like it's the confirmation for me to start a new upward trend would be a high low breaking past this high. If we can get a bit of a pullback through here, and then we break past these previous highs with this previous resistance around this 30 level, then I see a level, I see a race, and then I see race back up to at least 50 cents, and then probably a lot higher from that there. So that's what I'm seeing with XRP there, guys. Does look like it's starting to slowly bottom out right now, and it does look like it's got a bit of a bottoming pattern. A strong move down and a strong move up is a V bottom. Normally when if we get a strong move down and a very weak move, that's not V bottom, right? But a strong move down, a strong move up, this is called V bottom action. What we need to confirm that is that if it does come back down, create a higher low, breaking past this previous high, this is a higher low, which is now signaling what? Which is now signaling buyers in control. So I hope that makes sense for you. Now what I want to do, guys, is I want to bring up something here that I think is really, 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 really interesting stuff here. Now what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to blur this out here for a minute. All right, but let me just. Alrighty, so what you're looking at right now, I've blurred out some details here, but what you're looking at right now is from one of my recent private clients. And the details, as you can see through here. Now, this is applying a very, very, very simple trading exit strategy that we have. It's a very simple. Once we actually get into a trade, we're just simply applying one simple exit rule and apply it to every single trade to get into. And you can see the results here. Now, he didn't actually get these results, but he was saying that if you just use this one simple technique, this is the potential result that he would have gotten here. Now, every single trade here is $1,000 trade. Okay, so every single trade here was $1,000. So every time you put a trade on, it was $1,000. You can see the actual details through here. And he was saying that, John, if you just applied the one rule, which we talk about in trading, if you applied just that one rule, then this would have been the result for exiting. And as you can see, and we're talking about how that if he just applies this one rule for every single trade now moving forward, he's probably likely to do a lot better than just getting out when he thinks it's a good idea and all that sort of stuff. So I wanted to share this with you here, right? That it was really interesting that with my trading strategy and the way that we trade as private clients, there's two types of trading, right? There's the same setup, but one setup has something to do with it, and it gives you a 90+% success rate. In fact, what we talked about, how this 257% winner and the 577% winner, they were what we call the 90+% success rate trades, right? They're the absolute beautiful trades. And all these other trades, some of them actually were mistaked, weren't as really good trades. So some of them, like this UCT trade here, wasn't actually a very good quality setup. So even though one of my private clients made a lot of mistakes or made some mistakes, he still had a 60% win-loss ratio overall, which is fantastic. And this is how he's getting a lot better, right? And even though he did that by trading just $1,000 a trade, and if he applied this one technique, he's for the result for January would have been $8,837. Now I'm not sure if that's including brokerage or takeaway brokerage. Even if you took away brokerage, you're probably still looking at around $8,500 for the month by trading $1,000 a trade. And he's just still learning, right? He's just still learning how to identify a 90+% of trade. And he's still taking the other trades here, right? So these other trades here, they're more like the 70%ers and so on and so forth. So I was telling him, if you just focus on the 90+% success trades and he knows what to look for, he would have only had 2 trades, a 257% and a 577%, only 2 trades, and he would have absolutely just crushed it, because he would have had 6, 7, 8. Yeah, by trading less, I was telling him, by trading less and only taking the 90% of trades, which once again, this is a 90% of trade, and this is a 90% of trade, and it was absolutely just fantastic to see his growth through there. And so now we talked about it on a coaching call today. And now if he just focuses just on this 90%, one, he's going to take less trades, but this one here is a $9,000 to $10,000 a month in profit from only trading $1,000 per trade. So that's only a $2,000. It's $1,000 on this trade, $1,000 on this trade, and that's it. And it's so incredible here, guys. And that's one thing I want to bring your attention here is, one, if you have a good trading system, then even if you do take a few bad trades that you shouldn't have taken, then the profit still should outwin your losses. And secondly, less really is more. You don't need to take a lot of trades to make good money. You just need to be able to identify those really good, highly successful ones and focus on those only. And then, as you can see here, right, this is only trading $1,000 a trade here, right? And that's almost $10,000 there. Imagine if he was trading $5,000 a trade and he was patient, disciplined, and consistent with it. And he was only taking these trades here. That almost $10,000 profit there, times by, if they were $5,000 trades, he did almost $50,000 in a month, $50,000 just in January. Right? If they were $10,000 trades, he would have done that. And guess what? He only trades 1 hour per day. And that's actually what my clients do, right? These are options trades here. Now, as I said before, that with my private clients, that obviously when you first start trading, right, you're going to make some mistakes, right? You're going to take some crap trades and so on and so forth. But he was really telling me that that if we just use one simple technique, for the exit strategy, and we just use that for every single trade, even though he took some crap trades and his success rate was a lot lower than I'd like, he still came out doing really, really, really well. And now moving into this month and next month, he's going to tighten it up so he takes less trades but higher win-loss ratio, and he's going to absolutely crush it. So I wanted to bring that up there for you guys. One, you should be trading a trading strategy where you can have a very, very, very simple, that even if you do take some bad trades, overall you can still crush it for the month and for the year. And then also, secondly, you should be looking at the trades to see which ones give the highest probability of having the biggest profit per trade, and what goes into that. And that's what we talked about today as well too. And then just focusing on that. And also, lastly, guys, you don't need a lot of money to trade really well and to do really well at trading. As I said before, these were both of these here were just $1,000 trades. That's it. They weren't $10,000 trades or anything like that. They were just $1,000 trades. But as you can see, by the month of January, the 2 trades here, which meet the 90+% success rate, it's more like almost 100% success rate, but you can see how just by taking 2 trades and not 10, he would have absolutely crushed it. And so I challenge you, do you have a trading strategy where you can use a simple exit rule that's going to help you do really well long term without thinking about it? Do you have a trading setup that gives you a 90+% success rate or more? Do you have a trading setup that you know when you get into it, it's likely to make a big move, not just a small move, but a big move? And are you trading a trading system that even if you do take a few bad trades and maybe make a few mistakes, can you still get on top overall? And that's what this is all about. Hey traders, John Howell here. Thanks for watching my video. For a limited time only, I am giving away free access to my brand new trading course. I've put all my most powerful systems, strategies, and trading techniques that I've learned over the last 15 years and put it in this course, and I'm giving it away for free for a limited time. See, in this brand new Go to the Markets by the Board trading course, and you can get it when you go to johnsfreegift.com, you're going to learn, firstly, you're going to get access to a brand new training course for 90 minutes, and you're going to learn all the details step by step to my #1 trading system with over a 90% success rate that works on any market and any time frame. You're also going to learn 3 powerful chart reading and trading techniques. You're also going to learn 2 more powerful trading systems, and also you're going to learn 7-figure trading secrets, mindset techniques, and so much more. There's top 13 mistakes you're going to learn, the 10K per month formula, and so much more. No, this is not a get rich quick scheme, but if you are struggling with your trading right now and you need help, then for a limited time, you can get free access to this. So go to johnsfreegift.com right now, or click on the very first thing in the description, because for a limited time, I'm giving away. So go to johnsfreegift.com right now and start getting access to this full complete trading course, plus also the free training with my #1 trading system with over 90% success rate. Go do that right now, and I'll see you on the next page.